All right, match 1, game 1 with Faye. Let's see. This is the pivotal league, chat. We 5-0'd the last time we played this. So every time I really love a fair interactive modern deck, and we do well the first league, I always get dumpstered in the second league. So here's to hoping we don't get dumpstered in this second league. Here's hoping we 3-2 or better, and I can keep my love for Faye going. Oh, that's sweet, Bob. Will they have open source drivers, or is it going to be a proprietary blob like NVIDIA? Because the existing Intel cards have open source drivers. Vendilion Clique is awesome. Vendilion Clique is great. Play more Vendilion Clique. Huh. Hey, Roscoe, thank you for the 2 bits. Fair. So, I actually only have 2 copies of Thoughtseize in this deck, and Thoughtseizing this hand is the reason why we've got more, we have more Thoughtseizes that are Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes. Like, we're gonna get burned out this game almost certainly. I'm excited to play this matchup though, because this is a matchup that I want to see how it plays out, to see if we can keep up in the mid to late game. I'm still here in the burning remains of Hoaglandia. Was it 12 months when I get a sword to defend myself? Thanks for the 10-month resubscription, Saw3. I appreciate it. And yeah, 12 months is when you get modded. I feel like I'm supposed to take Electrolyze here, but I'm probably going to have a better window to take Electrolyze later. I'm going to take Spell Queller for now, actually. That effing guy, thanks for the bits. Yeah, we can Brutality the Electrolyze later, right? Oh, I could pitch the second Thoughtseize to Brutality. That's actually really true. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. So next turn we'll go like Fetch Island Bitterblossom. Yeah, they're just sending this upstairs here. I like it. I like it. Just recognizing their role, taking the shotgun and blasting my face. Interesting that they didn't fetch here first. So I can't confirm whether or not it'll have first class open source drivers or not, but given our open source contributions for integrated GPUs, I would expect we continue that level of work. That's fair, Bob. And like, again, like if they're making like an NVIDIA competitor, they might tighten things up. Some bigger companies get finicky with open source stuff when it gets bigger things. So do I want a Brutality here, or do I want to stick Bitterblossom? I kind of just want to stick Bitterblossom, right? Although giving them an opening to Spell Queller my Brutality that gets escalated feels really bad. I think I'm supposed to... This gives them a chance to... The problem is Snare doesn't stop Logic Knot. It's not nigh unbeatable. They have 5 points of burn in their hand. They don't have a Snare. We know they have Bolt, Electrolyze, Path, and then one card we don't know. I'm a little worried about them cashing in the Electrolyze next turn. Like, I want to deny them the value of cashing in their Electrolyze, ideally. Don't tell me you drew Spell Snare. Whew. Yeah, so Blossom is very good in this matchup if you can avoid getting burned out. But Blossom is a card that helps burn us out, is the thing. That's a good draw. Do I just go Tar Pit Pass now? I just go Tar Pit Pass now, right? Maybe I'm supposed to play the untapped land there. I think I would just go Tar Pit Pass. Please electrolyze me. Please electrolyze me. Electrolyze me, baby. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come and get it. Ring the dinner bell. Come and get it. Oh man, this is a tap land, isn't it? Shock yourself. Shock yourself. Shock yourself. Oh yeah, that's a cast electrolyze. Shock myself there. Oh baby. Oh baby. Oh baby. That's annoying. I think I just Spell Snare this one. So now I kind of wish I would have left this up, but at the same time, this is still fine for us, I think. Their hand is Bolt, Path, Electrolyze currently. That bolt just went upstairs. Yes, it did. So do I ban... I'm going to start by attacking with the Fairy Rogue here. Do I ban the Thoughtseize or the second Bitterblossom? We're definitely doing Duress plus Escalate on the Brutality. I think I'm supposed to pitch the Seize, right? Is the second Blossom better? Yeah, it's probably better to bin the second Blossom, right? Because this might have value. Collective Brutality is so good. It is unreal how good this Magic card is. I'm gonna Sprite this. Their hand is Path, Electrolyze. We get to take their Electrolyze, go to 10. Sprite that one. We get to fire up Tar Pit next turn, too. I Thoughtseize them and take the Path to Exile, like force the Path. What? Why should I play Scarab God? What problem does this deck have that playing Scarab God fixes? I think I'm supposed to force the Path here, because, like, my Tar Pit's pretty valuable. And, like, I know they don't have 2 burn spells in their hand here. Yeah, so, like, now I get to hit them with this, which puts them to 4, which means even if they rip an answer to Tar Pit next turn, I'm still gonna kill them. For those of you playing bingo at home, Moto is currently at 2 gigs of RAM, so we'll be sure to restart after this match is done. Off to bit farming I go. Thank you for the bits extras. So many cupcakes! Thank you. Is this a Disdainful Stroke matchup? It's definitely a Soul Lass matchup. This matchup's actually why there's a Soul Lass in my sideboard. I think this card is very good in this matchup. What do I want to trim here? I think I want at least one stroke. Is it nuts to cut the Thoughtseizes? I feel like I want to cut the Thoughtseizes. I'm going to trim the cast down. I need to leave some... I am not confident in any of the details in this deck. This is my like second league playing with the deck, so I think Solas, Sword of Light and Shadow, Solas. Kids these days never played when swords were playable in Modern. Aaron, thank you for the 26-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I think we can trim at least one Fatal Push. They are playing Spellquellers. They are playing Spellquellers. Like, I think we need to keep at least 3 Fatal Push. I like Cryptic. I think I cut the Disdainful Stroke before I cut a Cryptic Command. Stroke counters Cryptic, it counters Teferi, and it counters Secure the Waste, but I think that might be narrow. This is primarily in my sideboard for Tron and Valakut Titan. Oh, that's true. With Spellqueller, Disdainful Stroke gets even worse. You deal with Geist by blocking. I think I like this. So ultimately I'm bringing in Dispel, Negate Solas, and I'm cutting a cast down, a Brutality, and I'm cutting a cast down, a Fatal Push, and 2 Thoughtseizes. I don't think I have room to bring in this other Brutality. Yeah, the way you tend to lose this matchup is by getting burned out, and Light and Shadow makes you not get burned out. Mr. Missouri with the 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This game's pretty good. This game's going to be a good example of why playing a pile of Vendilion Cliques is good in this archetype, I think. Vendilion Clique kills our opponent very quickly. They need to kill every clique we play, and if they don't kill it, we want to... if they can't kill the Vendilion Clique, we want to have... If they can kill it, we want another one to put into play right away. So I'm just going to take this Snapcaster Mage, I think, and then we'll Brutality take the Cryptic Command. So, fetch an island here. So that way next turn we can play Mutavault plus Vendilion Clique. They reprinted Splinter Twin before they banned it. Because I didn't have Mutavault in my hand when I played the Secluded Glen, duh. Ooh, they hit a Negate here. Or a Logic Knot. Mana Leak, sure. So we know all 4 of the cards in their hand at this point. No, I don't think so. This is a matchup where I want to hit all my land drops. So I think, like, aggressively escalating that when we could be doing it into a counterspell seems bad. I think since I picked up this Negate, I'm going to not play the Clique out. Yeah, the Queller could maybe be a problem. I wonder if it's possible that... Cast Down is better than Fatal Push post board. This is a good draw. Yeah, that's the joke. That's the joke, Breeman. All right, and now I get to play this Vendilion Clique out and click the Cryptic Command out of their hand. There are lots of places on the internet you can defend obnoxious cards like Blood Moon. My channel is not one of them. My channel is not one of them. You're entitled to your opinion. If you think Blood Moon's a fine card to keep in Modern, that's fine. Don't talk about it here. Did we ever find out what Justin does for work? Also, you put this towards Esper Control. 10 out of 10 Anonomic. I appreciate it. I don't think we did. Thank you for the support as always. I really appreciate it. I'm pretty sure... Do I just leave all of these cards since I have this Negate in my hand? I think I just leave all of these. I think it's just like, nah, this is fine because I'm winning this race on board. Never forget, the best Vendilion Cliques that you can have are the ones where you look at your opponent's hand and go, yeah, that's fine, I can beat those cards. You should only take cards with Vendilion Clique if you can't beat them. So, that's Hogland's message of the day. Alpine Moon is a really well-designed Magic card. Is a very, very well-designed Magic card. I think it will see probably some amount of play. Also, don't forget that you can click yourself on occasion, but you can't click yourself and take lands away. It's a thing you can't do. Snapcaster is not particularly good in this deck. You don't have that many instants and sorceries. There's going to be games where you don't have things to snap back. Past that, you're going to, what's the word? Do I just play the Bitterblossom here? I think I just play the Bitterblossom here. Totally with you on that. Thanks, throw in. So if they purge here, I get to negate them. And then their hand is Supreme Verdict Cryptic Command. I'm surprised they didn't Cryptic my Bitterblossom. I was expecting to trade my Negate for a Cryptic Command there and then have them untap and purge the Bitterblossom. But I'm pretty happy with that result. Tarpit's an okay draw. It's a little bit medium against Field of Ruin, but like Field of Ruin is going to tag one of our utility lands at some point anyways. Okay, this trade makes sense because now they don't have anything in hand that I can Inquisition. So this was basically a 2-for-1. Could I add some weight to Strawberry Shortcake? Of course, Ginger Cakes. I appreciate it. We're going to have a Legacy Day either tomorrow or Thursday. So they have Verdict plus Cryptic Command here. MTG Brews with the $5 donation. I guess I'm paying the troll toll, but I'm not defending Blood Moon. I'm saying, why would they ban it now? I'm saying the idea that a card is offensive, but it's been offensive for a long time means it's okay is silly to me. I don't want to click in response because I know they have Cryptic Command, and if I play out my Vendilion Clique, they're just going to Cryptic Command my Clique. I'm not interested in getting my Clique Cryptic Commanded. If I'm going to get my Clique Cryptic Commanded, I'd rather get a Cryptic Commanded on their next turn, so that way they're tapped out and I can hit them with both my creature lands. Yeah, I think Hearthstone tournament structures are neat. I don't know if I'd have time to properly prepare for one, but if there was like something at a thing that I was going to anyways, I'd probably be interested in playing it. Yep. This is the way we've always done it, so this should be good. If it was good for my father and my father's father, it's good enough for me. Fuck all that social progress and change and things that we've learned in the middle. And like, obviously, like, social progress and like real life issues have much more impact than a children's card game, right? Like, comparing children's card games to like inequality and like women's voting, like all of those things are far more important than a children's card game. But like, that same kind of logic that people use to defend those shitty things, that's being applied to defend shitty things that happen. And like, if they Cryptic Command me here, I get to hit them for 7 next turn. And like, this match is very much about racing, right? So the fact that I'm gonna get in a, so that's interesting. Do I just snap Brutality here? I think I just snap Brutality here, right? Just like hit them for 3. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think Blood Moon is okay in Modern if we got rid of fast mana. No, I just think in general it creates shitty games of Magic. I think my goal, if I was the one sculpting Modern, would be to encourage interactive and interesting games of Magic, and Blood Moon basically never creates interactive or interesting games of Magic. If you think there are things in Modern that make it necessary for a card like Blood Moon to exist, I'd rather they ban those things that you feel make it necessary, or they do things like printing Damping Sphere and Alpine Moon to make those things less good. Okay, this is interesting. So the Verdict kills everything here, but the Electrolyze draws a card. Do I take the Electrolyze? I think I take the Electrolyze here, right? It's definitely just the Electrolyze, right? Because like, I'm only gaining like 1 fairy by not taking that. Yeah. Like, this Bitterblossom is just like slowly running them into the ground. Yeah, and they have to spend the 4 on their turn. Exactly. They do get to, because they have a land tier, they get to play Supreme Verdict plus hold up Field of Ruin this turn. Not anymore. Not anymore. Can we just appreciate for a moment how good Sword of Light and Shadow would be at this point? So, Stony Silence is a card that you make an active deck choice to play around. Everybody puts fucking lands in their deck. The only deck building decision you can make to play around Blood Moon is by putting all basic lands in your deck, which everybody knows. Everybody who's like a reasonable Magic player that's like built lots of decks, even 2-color decks can't play all basic lands without being wildly inconsistent. We have 3 Mistbind Cliques in our deck. I actually haven't drawn a Mistbind Clique yet this match, but we have 3 of them in our deck. That card's very good. I think people who want to play combo decks and just wrong. No, I think combo decks, okay, so here's my opinion on combo decks. I think combo decks are sweet and they're great TCG design space, but I think formats where combo decks are the best decks, like the tier 1 decks, I think those are shitty TCG formats. I'm gonna play this land tap, so it doesn't matter. So I think while combo decks are sweet, and I'm glad they exist in general, I think formats where degenerate decks are the first thing you want to reach for are generally not enjoyable to me. You got a $10 donation there. Jeff, can you add a Jund mid-range deck of your choosing? 10 out of 10. I would love to run back Jund trackers. What do you think of Scion of Una? I think the big problem with Scion of Una is that it's a pretty individually weak card, and I think it generates less. They drew Electrolyze, they drew Spellquiller. Okay, that's a pretty good draw. I think by and large it's individually weaker than Mistbind Clique and generates less tempo. So I think Mistbind Clique has higher upside basically. So their hand is just Supreme Verdict right now. We're in an okay spot here. Hollowed One is not a degenerate deck. Hollowed One is by and large an aggressive deck that's pretty easy to interact with. People that claim Modern is all linear decks are not looking at the information that we have presented to us, or maybe they have information that I'm not familiar with, because Modern has a lot of different decks in it right now. This is the type of matchup where Bitterblossom really shines. This looks like I'm casting Supreme Verdict attack, so I'm gonna block with this Fairy Rogue. Yes, definitely MTG Brews. As always, the people who support me here dictate what we play and when. So always happy to do that. I agree that Hollowed One creates games that feel bad. I agree with that assessment. Whoa, that's interesting. All right, sure. Let's punish some greed, shall we? Mistbind Clique would have also been very punishing there. If we'd have drawn Mistbind Clique, we'd have tapped them out and untapped and killed them, right? Almost. Just about. There's a Celestial Colonnade right here, chat. There's a Celestial Colonnade that blocks right here. I don't think it's worth, speaking of the Colonnade, I don't think it's worth trading Snapcaster for 2 points of damage, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. Three months already. Seems like we just started courting yesterday. Matto, thanks for the 3-month free subscription. Quarter of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate it. And like, one of the sweet things about this deck is we've actually drawn 2 more lands than we have in play right now, but they were creature lands, so they got to attack and my opponent had to spend answers on them. Mikey Am, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's a lot of people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I think I just take this hit. I don't think I can risk a triple block and then getting blown out by a removal spell here. Smells like removal, right? That's interesting because I could Brutality to kill the Colonnade. Well, now we're going to attack with everything since we drew a Snapcaster Mage here. I would like to snap negate the shit out of whatever removal spell you have. Well, opponent, you have entered the wrong phase to try and block with that, so sure. So, opponent went to the blockers phase before activating that. Alright, attempt to snap bolt you. Can we just talk about how good Collective Brutality is, chat? And just like how it does everything I want in life. And so much more. Alright, got him. Got him. Alright. Quick ad break while I restart the hemorrhaging memory hemorrhaging application of this magic. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. Welcome. Playing some blue-black fairies. If you think this deck is sweet, we played another variation of it on stream on Sunday. So after this league's done, you'll want to be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there. There's full audio on those since I don't steal music while it's going on. If you're enjoying my stuff and you want to help me continue making videos and playing sweet decks like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people who keep me employed. They are the reason that I am here full-time like I am. You can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards or cash directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take 1% fee off the top. Mac Weldon provides premium men's clothing. Using code Jeff Hogan at bit.ly/HuluClothes. You save 20% on your first order of premium shorts, underwear, socks, t-shirts, polos. They do all sorts of great stuff there. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anoronix, Justin, Nivik, and all y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. 3 months, forgive. Thanks for the quarter of your resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's pop on in here. We're 1-0 in this league after beating Jeskai control there in the first game. You think it would be crazy to bring this deck to an open? I can't seem to lock in a deck in Atlanta, and this seems to be like everything I want to be doing. I think I'm going to play this deck in Indy next month, so... Remember, Magic should be about decks you enjoy playing. If saying attack and then clearly saying blockers imply declare blockers, then my opponent animates a creature land in the block phase. It depends on what exactly is said. It would need more details than that, MTG Brews. When you talk about degenerate decks being things like Storm, then, because of the lack of interaction, yeah, decks that are degenerate are decks that are... a degenerate deck in Magic or a TCG in general is a deck that you define as a deck that in an ideal world they don't want to interact with their opponent at all. That's how I would define a degenerate deck in a TCG format. I'm gonna take my guaranteed land to cast my Cryptic Command. I know you were previously considering black, green, rock to plain paper. Would you prefer Fae or rock? I mean, fairies is a deck. I might have a framed copy of this card upstairs somewhere, so I am biased when I say that I would prefer to play fairies. Ooh, a storm strategy. Storm strategy. Definitely gonna go Secluded Glen, Bitterblossom. If they have exactly a creature here on turn 2, we could maybe be in trouble, but otherwise we're gonna have Sprite and then Cryptic Command. Mid-range creature decks like Company and Affinity. Well, Tassiger's dog shit against Affinity. Why is this deck bad against Affinity? Because you lack cheap removal? I could see that being the case. Yeah, Baral here's pretty good. Fatal Push, Fatal Push, Fatal Push, Fatal Push, Fatal Push, Fatal Push. Watch us draw Cast Down, just not be able to kill their legendary thing. Well, that's good. That's good. We get to Inquisition and then hold up Sprite here still. So maybe we have a chance. That's a lot of rituals. I'm gonna take the Manamorphose here, right? And I'm gonna play this and pass. So I can't Spellstutter Sprite a Gifts Ungiven just yet. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a timeout here. So instead of telling people that they're wrong on this channel, you need to explain why we're wrong. It's okay to have a disagreement. It's not okay to just be an egotistical asshole and talk down to them. Don't do that. Tell them, explain why. Help them learn. If you want to talk in chat, you need to be constructive. You need to be specific. You need to say, it's bad because, and then help them understand why it's probably bad. The only egotistical asshole out on this stream is me. This guy, right here. Alright, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to Sprite this. Because if they don't have a Manamorphose or another blue source here, they actually can't combo this turn, right? Freaky Kiki, you have to refresh your browser page and then hit the send notification at the top. Yeah, sweet. And then we have this Cryptic Command starting next turn too for their Gifts Ungiven. They have infinite mana in their hand. So next turn we could get into trouble because they could have unsubstantiate. They have unsubstantiate, so they can maybe unsubstantiate with the Gifts Ungiven too if they hit blue mana. No, I don't think so. The chances of them having that many rituals in their hand is pretty low. Like, they have to have a lot of rituals there. So I think I'm supposed to just main phase click here and take their Gifts Ungiven away. There's a chance we die here, but if they have a blue source, we're probably gonna die anyways. We could bounce Boreal. That's an interesting line I hadn't considered. I think I want to just take the Gifts Ungiven, though. And, like, obviously they have draws here that could end with us dying next turn still, but I think taking the Gifts Ungiven is correct. This, putting the click into play too, shortens my clock as well. I assume we're dead here. I assume we're dead here, but like I said, I think I've given myself the best chance to win with this line. I guess they need another Gifts Ungiven. Past in Flames would do it too. Sweet. Sweet. That's another Cryptic Command. Well, that's great. Huh. So we just need one more brick out of them. Do I just upkeep, bounce the Boreal here? They have Unsubstantiate in their hands, so like my Cryptic Command's not going to resolve, but like what's the optimal use of this Cryptic Command? Because it's getting unsubstantiated, so it's probably just bounce their thing, right? It's probably just bounce their thing during their upkeep. Bounce upkeep, like they're gonna have to pay 1 mana for the unsub at some point anyway, so I might as well just make it during their upkeep while they have the least possible information. Because like, regardless of like what modes and what I do with this, they're just gonna like unsubstantiate it. No, I don't really like Infect or Storm as decks. I don't enjoy playing them. If I was going to play a degenerate all-in combo deck, I would play Jeskai Ascendancy combo. Huh, maybe that's the wrong use of that. Bingo, the cards are here. Bingo cards there. And I got you on the timeout. I guess we could die here, huh? But this... I don't actually... This lets them save the unsub to bounce my thing. This is 7 in the air, though, right? Well, that's not quite lethal, huh? They have been drawing land, that's true. I think I'm gonna Thoughtseize them. Yeah, we have Thoughtseize in another click. So I kind of poke through their stuff. And now I just take their mana away, right? I guess I should have end-step bounced their thing. We got punished for not doing that. They're not dead on board. They have a blocker, and one of my Fairy Rogues has Summoning Sickness. Yeah, we can take the unsub here, and then I can draw step click them to click them out of a Past in Flames. Because Past in Flames and Gifts Ungiven are their outs at this point, right? The Android application costs more to subscribe than using the desktop application because Twitch has to cover Google's fee. So subscribing in your mobile browser is cheaper. From Philly with the $10 donation. Giving democracy points to robots since that's the only deck I ever beat Jeff with. Sounds good, Philly. If you use that link in your mobile browser, it'll cost you less than subbing through the mobile app. So I'm gonna draw step, play this other click, because if they drew Past in Flames, I want to take that away from them. It's also good to take Sleight of Hand here. Yeah, so Mutavault could have been lethal there, but... And then we have these Damping Spheres in our sideboard. And they're not even here to beat Storm, they're there to beat Tron, but we have them, so we're bringing them in. Alright, so the cast down is an easy cut here. Cryptic Command's probably the trim, right? This card's really expensive. I think I can trim like one Mistbind Clique here. A lot of our cards seem good. The problem is like striking a balance on like what cards I'm actually keeping. So like, again, any of these cards, like these 6 cards all seem reasonable, but like I already have 2 more cards I need to cut in this matchup. You want to cut Vendilion Clique? Get out of your high. Get out of here. Vendilion Clique is disruption and it's your best clock. I don't mind cutting a Bitterblossom. Cutting a Bitterblossom doesn't seem unreasonable. It's kind of slow and clunky. Yeah, any purchases you do directly through the Android app cost more. Clique is the best card. Killing their creatures is important. Honestly, maybe these Mistbinds just aren't good enough. I would cut these before I cut Vendilion Clique. I could see going to 2 and just like going up to 4 here. Spell Snare is one of the better cards in this matchup, I think, too. Like, a lot of our cards are just great here. Like, we have a lot of good cards in this matchup. I think I'd cut Collective Brutality before I cut Fatal Push. They have a harder time going on. I think I'm going to do this. I guess Snapcaster Mage doesn't attack well. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to cut these. I'm going to cut these and leave it a Mistbind, and then I'm going to bring in a Disdainful Stroke. I'm going to do that. That's final offer. We're also, like, bringing in Damping Sphere makes Snapcaster Mage more awkward, too, which is a real consideration. So I think trimming Snap is fine. Snap, like, also gets blocked by Morale, which kind of sucks. I don't know. I mean, Clique kills them pretty quickly. Like, again, like, you need to actually kill your Storm opponents. So, like, cards like Mistbind Clique, like, end the game very, very quickly. I'm gonna show them Bitterblossom here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and play Damping Sphere this turn. I think whatever I cast is getting remanded. Stiffnex, thank you for the 2-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. That's true, actually. That's actually very true that they'll be on puzzle post board. Yep. Okay, so the stroke is bad. Secluded Glen is very, very good. Secluded Glen is one of the reasons to play this archetype, in my opinion. You know what? I guess they could go off next turn. It's possible. What'd they take with this thing, actually? They ditched. So they took a Ritual and a Repeal. Yeah. How do you feel about Batterskull over Solas? I want Solas. I want to rebuy my fairies from the discard pile. This deck usually doesn't struggle to have threats on its own. I probably should have played Bitterblossom on 2, but I think I'm supposed to play this on 3. Just because, what's the word I'm searching for? Because they could combo me on their 4. So I can't negate or Spellstutter Sprite here because of Damping Sphere. So I cannot counter this because like, my spells cost me 1 more. It's possible I should have sequenced in a different way with my 2-drops there. Hopefully 1 counter spell is enough to not get goblins this turn. 4 straight up killed. I'm gonna snare this because it's better against Remand. Yeah, I need to actually kill my opponent. Like, putting Bitterblossom into play gives me a clock. Am I dead? It's not deterministic, but we're pretty dead. I have most things there. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna cut this stroke. This stroke is bad. I'm gonna put another Bitterblossom on the plate. This card's pretty good. Yeah, I would play against Storm 100 times if I could get rid of Tron. Storm is much easier to interact with. Storm is the cards that you can play to interact with Storm, the subset of cards you can play to interact with what Storm's doing is much larger than the subset of cards that you can play to interact with what Tron is doing. This hand is not good enough because of the mana, right? If I had, like, untapped black on one, I could go Inquisition into Bitterblossom, and that's very good, but I think I have to mulligan this. Hopefully we're not about to cross close 7 and unkeepable 6 off the bingo cards. This hand is great. This hand is very good. Look at that. Look at that. Don't keep shitty hands, chat. Don't do it. Don't do it to me, baby. Grape Shot's actually, like, really annoying, right? Because it kills my threats. I'm not qualified to give you advice, but I can't help you sideboard. An extra pay would be great. I would rather play against Red-Green Valakut than Tron, yes. Yes, so really, Stalin, I think this build of fairies is very reasonable. People love to just, like, stack fucking unplayable cards in their fairy stacks, and I've just, like, cut all of the bullshit that this archetype often plays, basically. I agree. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have an entire rant about targeted discard spells being shit game design. Yeah, cut all the bullshit, play 4 of the good cards, cut the Jaces, cut the Ancestral Visions, cut all these cards that people are playing because they have, like, this nostalgic memories of them. Yeah, 4 Mutavault I think is wrong too. You'll notice my 3rd colorless land is even a Field of Ruin today, just because I don't want... I would love to... Damn it, they drew a thing. That's, like, the actual best draw on their deck there. Actual best draw on their deck. I think I'm just passing here. I guess I can draw step click. Mutavault is infinitely better than Pendelhaven, and I don't have 4 Mutavaults in my deck. We're not in a good spot. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to a deck with. My girlfriend wants you to say we need some souls, man. Chat. I got you, Sanity, because I missed them. We need more swords, obviously. I assume we're dead here. No, I think this is a shitty aggressive archetype. I think if you want to play an aggressive deck, you should play... I think that's another thing people try and do with decks like this. They, like, try and make it, like, more aggressive when, like, this deck doesn't have the tools it needs to be aggressive. Even with, like, a 3-mana 1/1 Lord isn't aggressive. Like, it's sad and miserable in Modern. Yep, it's possible that playing this out was wrong. I don't know. I just wanted to get my clock on the table. Maybe I should just pass and, like, wait and end step it. It was really unfortunate for us that our opponent had, like, no good cards in hand, and then they drew the mana creature there. And I think that's a big argument for keeping the 4 Fatal Pushed in the main deck like I did, because you just need to kill those creatures on sight by and large. How does one get a sword? You get knighted at 12 months. 12-month resubscription to hand out swords. It's okay. Well, our discard spells just got a whole lot worse. That's true. A crown will get you a sword. Crowns have to have swords to defend their nobility. I think I'm casting this in case they drew a spell. And yes, they did. Quite the spell there, opponent. Opponent's playing blue-white Emeria. It's actually a deck list we have in the queue. But at this point, that's not very descriptive, because let's be honest, there's almost every deck in the queue. What you got? If they have something they can't cast in their hand, we'll probably let them keep it so we can snap discard spell it. I think we know they have 4 lands after this. Yep. Halfway to that sexy sword, Mr. Tasty, or Doug MTG. Thanks for the 6-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So this is a small mistake on my opponent's part. They should wait until I attack with this card to activate their Field of Ruin, because now I get to play Bitterblossom and play my Creeping Tar Pit tapped this turn. So they gave me a little bit extra value there. No, I'm not actually sure if the Snapcaster Mages are even good in this deck, if I'm being honest. Ah, Modern Staple Lone Missionary. Cryptic Command makes the Snapcaster Mage draw better. So we're going to upkeep Time Walk them, I think. Tap your lands. Then we're going to have Cryptic Command and then a snap Cryptic Command up while we beat them down in the air here. I probably would just, I don't know what I would put in there. I wouldn't play Baby Jace. I don't think Baby Jace is particularly good. It's a pretty good draw. I think I just Time Walk them again here, right? Am I a Duke, a Baron? I don't know. We need to figure that out, Wannabe Beetle. Need to have a hierarchy. No, yeah, this clique isn't legendary. This clique is not legendary. They're legendary in our hearts, though. They're special to us. Isn't legendary because nobody likes that one. Poor Mistbind Clique. I love you, Mistbind Clique. You're special to me. What if we didn't do that? That's adorable. All right, I'm gonna get to hold up Snap Cryptic Command next turn. Rawr. I think I'm okay just letting that happen. I think there are far worse things that they could have that we would want to snap Cryptic. Can we put Guide and Bolt in this deck for Friday? Stop it. Is this lethal if I snap Cryptic this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think I'm just supposed to let this happen because it's not lethal to snap Cryptic it. Yep, always want to be Beetle. Nice X1s. I never lost to it with fairies. Yeah, against decks full of 1-mana spells. These stupid time walks. Hey, bingo should be part of the 24-hour day with small prize, like after a gifted sub to the first non-sub to get a bingo. Yeah, that could be okay. If someone wants to, like, validate those, we could do something like that. Yeah, my opponent is, like, doing their part to make sure Burn is not a part of the modern metagame. I think they're on 4 usually. Was Snap Cryptic lethal there? I believe you. I didn't count the second time. It probably was. Venser. Alright, I'm gonna Cryptic the Venser. Yeah, I want to hold up Snap Cryptic Command. Wraith PK with the $10 donation. I missed the cultic ritual yesterday because I was buying a card, but a promise is a promise. Put this towards a league of Declan picking what burn cards you play. I don't think I'm going to have time to have that happen on Friday because the kids are going out of town with Christy after they're done with school for the day, but I think we can organize that next week. I don't even know what we're supposed to do here. These Disdainful Strokes are probably great. These Brutalities are probably kind of mediocre. Cast Down seems fine. Sword of Light and Shadow seems fine. Janice with the bits, thank you. I'm no longer banned, thank you for the support. I don't think Scion is better than any of the other cards we're already playing, is the issue. Are these Spell Snares worth playing? Like, I don't really care about Lone Missionary, right? And the tier 1 sub as well, thank you. All the discard is needed so we can figure out what's going on. Maybe like 1 Negate is fine. I could see Ensnaring Bridge being decent too. These fatal pushes are probably a little mediocre. Do I want Ensnaring Bridge, do we think? Are the bridges better than the fatal pushes? The bridges might be better. I guess they have the Blinky dude, so bridge is probably bad. I'm gonna bring in the Dispel. I bet they'll have counter spells post board. How are we supposed to stop Lone Missionary rate? It's just gonna run out of control. It's gonna gain everybody so much health. Oh no. Hey, S. Brattle, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed, folks. As always, my subscribers are the reason that I'm able to be here doing what I do, so thank you for that. Crucible of Worlds. That's a rude magic card. Huh. I think I take Crucible, right? And then they'll play Displacer on 3. And I will Snapcaster Inquisition to take their Path to Exile away. Might as well start giving you my money. So I'm glad you've been enjoying the content. Thank you for the support. No play is interesting. Huh. So my clicking here. They have Displacer, Sun Titan, Field of Ruin, Path to Exile. I think I'm just going to snap Inquisition here. Because I want my click to survive, so I don't want it to get pathed. This is actually kind of interesting. So do I take the Displacer or do I take the Path here? I kind of feel like I'm supposed to take the Displacer. And like hope to find a Thoughtseize or a Stroke for this Titan. That seems pretty reasonable. It's a pseudo answer. I can click the Titan. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to click this turn because I'd ideally like to protect my click with the Spellstutter Sprite from a path. And they're giving me the opportunity to do that, which is sweet. So now I'm going to float mana, grab this swamp, and I'm going to click them during my end of turn here. Because it leaves me with 2 mana up to Sprite a path. Kinda. Can kinda spread a path. Sure. I think I still Sprite here. Just like get my pressure on the table. But it doesn't feel good. We're a ramp deck now, right? I just like having my name on the top of the donation list, so take my money. Thank you for the bit throw in. Are they about to... I was gonna say, are they gonna mess this up here? We actually played against Living End in the last league we played with this deck, which is part of why we 5-0'd. We beat Burn twice, and then Living End, and then 8-whack, I think. Yeah, counter spells, generally speaking, aren't how you beat Cavern of Souls decks, even with something like Alpine Moon. Was that a good draw? I feel like that was a good draw. Can we talk about how good clocking your opponent is? Huh. I think I just take Wall of Omens here, right? Because Wall of Omens is going to draw them a card regardless, and it's going to block my Snapcaster Mage. It, like, gives them slightly less mana this turn to cast Wall of Omens, but it's like a pseudo-removal spell for my Snapcaster Mage. So I think it's worth taking that there. Yeah, I don't really care about Flicker Wisp. I can just cast down that and then, like, start to keep attacking them. So, like, I kill this and then they're dead next turn unless they have something. Definitely in the business of making them have it. They had a sweeper. Wow, that's a big girl. It's a big girl. Alright, so if I attack them with everything, they're dead next turn thanks to Spellstutter Sprite. How the fuck do we beat a 3-4, chat? I don't... You know, how do I beat a 3-4? Oh no! Oh no, not a 3-4! Hopefully I play like a 2 or 3 mana card here, and then we sprite it. No, stop it. No, stop it. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Oh, jeez. I don't know if I'm supposed to cast this. I'm probably supposed to wait a turn. Yeah, that's probably the game. That's just a 1-2, not quite aggressive enough on the play. I think I'm happy with how we sideboarded. They have paths. The Dispel seems... I guess Fatal Push kills Sahali, which is nice. Yeah, let's do that. So needed a little bit more action there. Like, if we would have had like one more creature land. Seems great on the play. Sand needs to draw some lands, but that's why there's 25 lands in our deck here. No, the oh no at 3-4 comment was genuine. 3-4s are terrifying for us. In my deck where my biggest thing is like a Vendilion Clique, I guess we have this. But 3-4s are pretty terrifying. Land. Alright, well, at least it was a castable. I'm gonna end step the Snapcaster Mage, I think. I'm not gonna have anything to snap back anyways for a while. I just want to kill them. Ding. Hey, guess what? We can Sprite a 4-drop this turn. God, Bitterblossom is so great on the play. So this stops my Snapcaster from attacking. So I think I want to Sprite it. It draws them a card. I'm gonna hold on to this fetch land for now because if we draw Fatal Push, the fetch land lets me kill a what's it called? A Sahali. Do I just do this now? Is this an upkeep Mistbind Clique? We haven't seen counterspells out of them. I think it's just an upkeep Mistbind Clique, right? Boop you right on the nose. Boop it. Boop it. Are they dead? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Yep, dead. Right, 7, 9, 12. Tempo. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I should have fetched Watery Grave. Watery Grave is what I should have fetched. Or the Exaxes. Don't gut shot me, bro. Gut shot's not good enough. Alrighty. Hey, that was sweet. That was a sweet game. That was a sweet game. Good quality fairy beatdowns. Oh no, chat. Chat, I still like this deck. We're 2/3 of the, we're 3/5 of the way through the second league, and I still like the deck. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna play this in Indianapolis, aren't I? I think I'm playing this in Indianapolis. I'm putting up with the internet. Thanks, Petcax. Welcome. Sorry I missed the burning down of your channel yesterday. I saw it on YouTube and it's hilarious. Chad Jackson, thanks for the 14-month resubscription. Can I get that Mac Weldon baby going? I don't know what that means, Brecken Sky. I would love to go first. Yeah, the change from the last time we played it. Hey, Arumund with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you and welcome. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Yep. Play 4 of the good cards, chat. This is one of the best cards in your deck. Our deck is fairy themed. Let's play 4 of the best fairy in Modern. Speaking of. No, stop it! No! No! I was so excited, chat. I was so excited. Why would you do this for? I just wanted my Bitterblossom. I just wanted a bitter. If we had a mausoleum, if we had a Judge's Familiar Fairy, this archetype would be so insane. I'm playing this one during my main phase here because I wanted to resolve. Double Cryptic Command D-Sphere. I think I just take the D-Sphere. Just like try and pressure them here. Yeah, so the reason I played the first click into a mana leak there was because I had the second one to follow it up. That's unfortunate. So they have Snap, Cryptic Command, Plains, then one card I don't know here. They were missing their third blue for a hot second. That's an aggressive Snapcaster. I like that from the opponent. I think they recognize that we're like trying to kill them. I've got this fatal push here though that's not doing much else. Nope, there's a Stream Decker update. Looks really sweet, right? Jace of the Mind Sculptor, which is not particularly good against our current board. The drawing a Jace makes sense why they tried to kill the Mutavault, because then they could Jace unsummon the Vendilion Clique. This is just like a this is a gain 3 Jace. Yep. I guess if they hit a Path to Exile, the Jace survives. Ew, that's good for us. I'm gonna hold this land for now as a bluff. I guess you could argue playing it out lets me bluff Cryptic Command though, so maybe that's worthwhile. This deck needs more Tireless Tracker, right? It could end up as this card fodder for Brutality. That's very true, actually. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume they didn't intend to return their own island there. Maybe they're on the Terminus build and they didn't intend to return their own land. No, they would have returned one of my lands, right? Actually, honestly, bouncing the Spreading Seas to replay it next turn to get another cantrip might have been okay there. Just like get the double cantrip off of it. No, Alpine Moon takes away the Tron subtype. You need to look at the Oracle text for the Tron lands. Alright, so Cast Down's bad here. Fatal Push is pretty bad. We definitely want all 6 of these. Yeah, Curtia, you should go Google. 3 of us have explained it to him. All right, good. They can take their time out to go do a Google search. You think Spell Snare is bad in general? I guess they showed us actual factual mana leak and Snapcaster Mage. Maybe I should still trim 1. We had Soul Lass in the list last time, but we haven't actually cast it yet. I've played Soul Lass with fairies before. I like Sword of Light and Shadow with fairies. I think trimming one of these is probably fine. You could maybe argue that I should keep some Fatal Pushes in my deck for killing their Celestial Colonnades. That's probably loose. It's possible I could get a touch greedier with the mana basin here and put a second Field of Ruin in for the purposes of killing Celestial Colonnades. Like 5 islands might be one too many. See, it needs to draw some lands. We've got a bunch of those in our deck. Yeah, and the Ensnaring Bridge sideboard plan is great in Mardu, I think. Yeah, this deck doesn't have a lot of ways to gain health, and I'd rather my health be spent on resources like Bitterblossom rather than anything else, rather than things like Dismember. Maybe the big problem with Displacer is that colorless mana isn't as free in this format as other colors of mana, because you can't fetch for wastes and like dual lands. Come on, land. Come on, land. I think I'm just supposed to pass. I think I'm just supposed to hold up Stroke here, because if I like Inquisition them and they have a Jace, I can't take the Jace with the Inquisition. No, I changed 4 cards. 4 cards, I think. I'm going to end step Snapcaster Mage here. Because when your opponent has big shit, they usually have removal too. And if they kill you, it's easier to kill your Pyromancer. Are you pathing me? That has to be absurd, right? Why would you path me? I just missed like 12 land drops. Huh. I guess we take Search for Azcanta. It's not even just who's the beatdown. It was if I missed my land drop, I was gonna have to move to hand. They are in fact playing Terminus. Okay. And obviously we have to let this resolve because I can't let them stick Jace the Mind Sculptor next turn. So they have Snap, Jace, and then one card I don't know. We got 2 damage and we got a 1-for-1 out of it. It's funny, I remember back when Snapcaster Mage was still standard legal, I was playing the Teamer Flash deck that I played a lot, and I was playing against an Esper control opponent, and on their turn 3 end step, my turn 2 basically, I flashed in Snapcaster Mage, and they laughed at it, and I was like, that card's going to kill you, and then 4 turns later, it had dealt 8 points of damage, and my opponent tried to kill it, and I countered the removal spell, and they were like, you weren't kidding that card was going to kill me, and I was like, I was not. Don't you laugh at my Ambush Viper. It's gonna come and it's gonna give it to you. If they snap Opt here, I'm going to Spellstutter Sprite the Opt. Just like get my little baby threat on the table here. I think I'm just trading here. Yeah, we're gonna trade here. And this is, like I mentioned earlier, like, imagine if one of these was a fatal push, right? Like, we'd be in a pretty good spot. But like now, I have to deal with this Colonnade. I'm in a pretty bad spot, honestly. What if I tell them to pick this up? I kind of like that. Yeah, definitely. If you ever see me at an event, definitely feel free to come up and say hello. I love damaging people's property with Sharpies. Drawing another land there is A+. Collective Brutality. I think I actually want to hold on to that for now. I think I want to be able to click plus other stuff here. If they might ship with the Colonnade this turn because they're feeling enough pressure. If they ship with the Colonnade, I'm going to flash in the click and double block, I think. And I think I'm gonna click myself here, I think. Need you to solidify the Dallas thing. Tarpet's not a bad draw. So I can double block here, or I could trade and then start racing. Can I just like trade here? I guess I could just chump. I'm gonna trade here, and then I'm gonna start attacking them with this click, because this basically just attacks for one every turn while I have Bitterblossom going. And we know they have Detention Sphere here. Well, if they're gonna Field of Ruin my Tar Pit, then they're not attacking, so that seems good for me. We are doing this. I'm gonna negate this. Hopefully they have Cryptic Command here as their counter, so I can Disdainful Stroke that. Everything is coming up, Millhouse. Everything is coming up, Millhouse. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Smush, 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 smush. I think I'm just gonna escalate this. I'm gonna bin this Bitterblossom. Jace, Teferi. Alright. Alright. Good. Battle of the Band cards, chat. Battle of the Band cards. Alright. Bitterblossom 1, Jace the Mind Sculptor 0. Excellent. While we're waiting for the last match in this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here today. Remember, if you really like this Fairies deck and you want to see more of it, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of the decks that I stream get archived there, and we actually 5-vote a league with this deck on Sunday. If you're enjoying my stuff, also please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are quite literally the people that keep me employed. They're the reason that I'm able to stream full-time here like I do day in and day out. You can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I'd love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags there. And of course, I would like to welcome everyone to Hoaglandia. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about receiving your complimentary timeout. After we wrap up this league with this next match, we're going to play some Landfall aggro, and we'll see how that one finishes. Landfall aggro is usually a quicker one, so we might sneak in a 5th deck today yet. The queue is long, so getting a 5th deck in is good value. It's never greedy to ask for a second serving of timeouts. We got you. If it's the one from the challenge, Punishing Waterfalls, we're probably playing that on Friday. Details on how the donation queue works is here. You can click on that link. All of it's spelled out there. Need to burn through some list on the queues, right? No, the landfall aggro deck is not the Scape Shift. That one I've been calling Scape Shift aggro. Landfall aggro is just good, honest, aggressive creatures. It's a wild Nacatl deck. Would love to play first. I am not sure if this is good enough. No, I wouldn't play Cavern of Souls in my Cryptic Command deck. It's a lot of lands. It really is. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. The Mistbind Clique's like half a card because it needs another card to do something. That sounds okay. Like, not fantastic, but fine. I'm going to keep that on top because if it's a deck where it looks like it's not going to be good, we can shuffle it away. Against any mid-range deck, we're going to shuffle that away just because against a mid-range deck, we want to make sure we're hitting all of our land drops. So we want to have a live draw to land next turn. Hollow Boys. I think that's actually a good card to keep here. I think I'm going to draw that. I'm going to go ahead and escalate this Brutality this turn looking at their hand. So, the thing about playing cantrips when you have a lot of utility lands is this deck wants to draw lands and it wants to draw spells. And a lot of its spells are very redundant in the function that they serve. So I'd rather just have more pieces of action and less pieces of fluff. Less things that require me to spend mana setting up my turns. I'm actually excited to play this matchup because this should give us a good test to see if the Ensnaring Bridges in the sideboard are worthwhile. This is definitely a matchup where those are coming in. This and Humans are the two matches where the Ensnaring Bridges in the sideboard are cards that I want to try out. Maybe, like, okay, so here's the way you can think about this. If we don't draw a fairy, we're probably going to lose the game, right? And, like, Mistbind Clique is one of our better fairies in this matchup because it can block their creatures profitably. So I think I'd like to keep Mistbind Clique, assuming I'm going to draw a fairy at some point to be able to win the game. I haven't actually played Serum Visions explicitly in this deck. We had 3 copies of Opt in the build we played on Sunday, and they felt kind of mediocre, so I just replaced them with more lands and spells. No, you don't board out Bridge. Stop it. Stop it. You keep your good card in. No idea. I've played 10 matches with the deck. Even though maybe Liliana is good, I don't know. Casting double black cards consistently feels a little ambitious, especially if I want to be fetching basic islands. I think we're pretty dead here. The fact that our Fatal Pushes don't kill their things in this matchup is a really big deal. It's possible that I want like a Dismember or a third cast down in the 75. No, not the Scape Shift version, just the pure aggressive version. That is a Mistbind Clique, not a Spellstutter Sprite. Yeah, we're dead here. Maybe. I think Push is the better card overall. I think Modern's a format that's where mana efficiency is really important. I think I just trim these when I bring in the bridges. Is that good? Sword of Light and Shadow is interesting because it lets me block their stuff and it lets me gain health potentially. Vapor Stag's not a removal spell, it's a tempo card. And while we have some games where we're like obviously a tempo deck, we have a lot of games where we're more of a control deck, and Vapor Stag's not good in a control deck. Murderous Cut's an interesting suggestion. The fact that we don't have Disdainful Stroke seems narrow. I guess the delve threats are really annoying. I can see that being okay. Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. We don't have Graveyard Hate because I think a lot of the pure graveyard-based decks aren't very good. Let me keep this on the play. Yeah, Cut seems interesting. That's not a removal spell I'd considered. One of those seems reasonable. Probably play that. Maybe a Cut and a Dismember in the 75, just so you can like have a little bit more flexibility. Doc, thank you very much for the 2-month resubscription. I do appreciate that. Welcome back. Now, I think even with push, like 1 Cut seems pretty reasonable. It also does stuff like kill Eidolon without hurting you. Yeah, Murderous Cut's very good in this matchup. So, the thing to know about decks like Blue-Black Fairies is they're not, the builds that people have played in the past don't put up results really, so they're not very good, they're not very consistent. So like, there aren't, this is what Blue-Black Fairies plays cards, because if there were cards that people consistently played in this deck, it would be a tiered archetype, right? It would be a deck that like, you'd show up and you'd go, oh yeah, Fairies, that's a deck people play. And Mars are like, oh, Fairies, that's kind of neat. It does deal with Squidbillies nicely. Yeah, I think I'm gonna work a Dismember and a Cast Down in for next time. Or a Dismember and a Murderous Cut. Those both sound very reasonable. I also might get a little bit greedy and sneak a second Field of Ruin into my mana base. Because Field of Ruin, while it's a colorless land, it's a pseudo-colorless land, right? Because it eventually turns into colored mana. You think people are sleeping on this deck? I think there aren't many amazing Magic players that have touched this deck recently. So I think it's an archetype that doesn't have a lot of people innovate on it. Now, whether or not there's something good waiting in the background after you innovate with it, that's a question that's worth asking, I think. That may or may not be the case, but I think saying that we probably don't have people working on it is a fair statement. And again, if you're gonna say a statement like that, Thoughtseize, you gotta articulate yourself. Fair, in my mind, Fairies and Humans are very, very, very different styles of decks. Like, I get it, you could say they're both tribal decks, but like in my mind, they play out very differently. Like, Humans is an aggro deck, and Fairies is a more controlling deck. We are very far behind, so we don't have a spot removal spell, and we've not drawn a spell this game. That is correct. I'm gonna Sprite this. Yep, yeah, Collective Brutality fixes a lot of the wrong half-style problems this archetype has, while also giving it more game against aggressive decks with Lightning Bolt in them. The Spellstutter Sprite here also lets us double block the Flameblade Adept this turn, which is nice. You can just do slash unban and then the username Nivik. They were not banned, so you're fine. So if they swing here, I'm definitely double blocking this Flameblade Adept. And then Bitterblossom does let us tread water a little bit against larger threats like this. Like, this thing is basically attacking us for 1 every turn instead of 5. Scion of Ona is probably a card that's worth testing as a 1 or 2 of. So, really want to draw Ensnaring Bridge or removal spell here. Spellstutter Sprite, yep. think we're just gonna die here at this point. Modern is a format where you often die with cards in your hand. There are only so many cards that you can play in a Modern deck that cost 4 or more mana. And one of the things people love to do, and one of the reasons why this deck is bad, like the number of fairies decks I've seen where there's Jace the Mind Sculptors and Ancestral Vision, just like all this clunky shit that's just not proactive and doesn't provide answers. Like, this deck already has Bitterblossom in it. Bitterblossom is like a grindy card for the ages. Like, you don't need to put more grindy stuff in our deck that has 4 Bitterblossoms in it. I think I'm gonna chump block both of these, just like hoping to draw bridges and out here. Yeah, we're pretty dead at this point. I think we need more spot removal. So I'm gonna have to put some thought into this deck. I'm gonna work on the deck some more. This is a deck that I'm considering playing at the Open in Indianapolis next month. So like cards I'm considering. So I love comments like that. The game where you didn't draw any spells, you should have had some cantrips, because I didn't draw any spells, so I would have drawn cantrips if we had them, right? That's not how that works. I would have drawn lands because I would have actually been worse off, because I wouldn't have had action. I'd have had cantrips instead of my actual spells. So cards that I would consider. What do you think about Damnation? So look, again, like there's 3 copies of Ensnaring Bridge here. This is my Damnation that gets to sit on the table. So if Ensnaring Bridge is bad, these could be Damnations or Bantus or Languishes or like Sweeper of your choice. But again, I didn't draw Ensnaring Bridge that game, so like I wouldn't have drawn Damnation even if I had. So going back to the deck, things I would want to think about are, I think, these Snapcasters and these Mistbind Cliques and this Mistbind Clique, this 3rd click, these are probably cards that are susceptible to being swapped out. I think these Spell Snares may or may not be good. I think, do I want 25 lands or do I want to test Serum Visions? Maybe. I think if you go lower than 25 lands, you need cantrips in this deck, but honestly, you lose more games with archetypes like this, stumbling and dying, than you do missing land drops. So like, sure, you could cut the Field of Ruin if you want to go down to 24 lands, I suppose. That might be okay. We've played 23, we've played 25, like maybe we should try 24. But honestly, I'm a big fan of getting to play Magic the Gathering, and you can't play Magic the Gathering if you don't draw lands. So in decks like this that tend to want to hit 3 and 4 land drops consistently, I tend to err on the side of playing more lands and playing more utility lands. So honestly, if I trim these Snapcaster Mages and this Mistbind Clique, that could be a reason to cut a land from the deck. Because remember, even though Snapcaster Mage says 2 on him, this is a 3-drop, right? This costs 3 or more mana most of the time. And Mistbind Clique is always 4, obviously. So like, if I'm cutting these 3 cards from basically the top of my curve here, I could probably afford to go down a land. There's a $5 donation there. Can you add this to Fade? Dealer's Choice. Thank you. Thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate that. Yeah, when my Dealer's Choice comes up, we're probably going to run this back. So if you are playing fairies on your own and you want to test things starting with this build that I'm working on, these are the cards I would consider toying with and trying different things in these slots. Maybe Serum Visions are good. Op didn't feel good, so I'm kind of wary to try another cantrip. I think a Murderous Cut sounds great. I think a Dismember sounds great. And those would be the things that I would be. I think maybe Scion of Una could be okay, but again, like 3 mana spells, like Modern's a format where you often die with cards in your hand, so like putting more 3 mana spells in your deck is generally a bad thing in my experience. All right. Anyways, we're gonna move on from fairies here. So got the 3 and 2 though. Still respect.